Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at texture tiling in Unreal Engine. So I have to create Bignaria and my Club Ra in Unreal Engine. And one of the issues I ran into was, well, how do you tile things? Normally I'm working on characters and things like that, which you don't necessarily tile. But with big objects, you do tile. With big environmental type objects like the ground or these mountains back here or this pyramid or the building, you would usually use tiling. So I want to do a quick video on the two types of major ways to tile textures in Unreal Engine. So one way to do it, if I just select on, this is the main way to do it, the simplest way too. Click on this material and open this up. So let me open that. Is to just add a texture coordinate to your UVs. Okay, so this is just a normal material that you would have with your base color, roughness, and normal. And then we just add a texture coordinate. So we can just right click, add texture coordinate, coordinate. Yep, there we go. And then we can just plug in your texture coordinate into your UVs right here. And then here is your tiling. So this is just one tile like a normal mesh, or we could go, I think this one normally I have it set to 6 by 6. So 6 tiles by 6 tiles. And that looks pretty good. So that's how you do kind of the most basic tiling. And then these mountains back here, let me focus in on these mountains. Now all of this is just thrown around. I'm still working on all of this stuff. But so this mountain is using a different technique. If we open up this material, we're using world aligned textures for this one, and then a texture size to handle that tiling. Okay, so how do you set up these ones? Well, okay, this one's kind of completely different. So in a way, we kind of have to get rid of all of this, and let's go like this for my window. So I have access to my textures. So here we have our normal material node. And now we can drag in our materials just like this. Our normal, our roughness. So there's our 3 textures, and you might have a metalness also. So normally, and then you would just plug these in. But to use that world align, so now we need world align texture. World align texture, just like that. In order to plug in, this won't just normally plug into that. So we need to change this to a texture object, and then we can plug it in. Oops. And then we can take XYZ and plug it into whatever that texture is. So now how do we handle the size? So we can just hold down 4 on your keyboard, 4, and then left click, and you get this window. And then you can right click on this, convert to parameter, and then I'll type in size, just like that. And I usually, I don't know, change the color to white. And not that you have to, because technically the color is going to get all changed here. So now this plugs into that texture option, just like that. And then we can duplicate this for the other 2. And of course we have to right click, texture object, plug that in. Texture object, and plug that in. And then we can plug these into here. Roughness. And then these into here. And there we go. Now we have this texture size controlling the tiling that goes on, and this looks like this because we're so low. I think for this I probably want something about 6,000. Oops, not 60,000. All right. So that gets us something that looks pretty decent. If we look at our rock here, our little mountain here, and as we change this, so I could go 10,000 or 100,000 here. And you get even more detail. So that's how you handle the tiling and all that. But let's take it back down to 6,000, and I'll just copy this, paste, and paste. And there we go. So we can apply that. And now, if we look at this texture too, when I move it, you see that texture gliding around it? So it's kind of like blending in, and it works really well when you're putting together multiple meshes and wanting them to kind of blend together. So that's why you would use something like that. There we go. We can save that. But that's a look at texture tiling in Unreal Engine. Have a good one, everyone.